Good evening. This is a meeting of the Township Committee, December 21st, 2020. The notice of requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Star Ledger, the Independent, and the Trooper Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk all on January 9th, 2020. At this time, the Township is holding this meeting pursuant to the rules established under the Open Public Meetings Act for the holding of a virtual public meetings during the declared state of emergency. The meeting is being broadcast live by way of WebEx platform and allows members of the public to participate through their computer or telephone. Written public comments may also be submitted through the clerk's office at 1 Kings Highway, Middletown, New Jersey, or townclerk@middletownnj.org, but will only be read onto the record if received before 9 a.m. the date of the meeting. If you wish to be heard when the public comments are permitted for the hearing of an ordinance or during the general public comment portion of this meeting, please use the raise your hand function on the WebEx platform, and I will call upon you one at a time. For those dialed in via phone only, I will open the floor up to the phone comments during the public comment sections as well. You will be asked to state your name and address for the record and observe time limit of 5 minutes unless the comments are part of an ordinance hearing. For more information on this process, please contact the Township Clerk at townclerk@middletownnj.org. Committeeman Hyvel.
Here.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Here.
Committeewoman Snell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Here.
Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. First item on tonight's agenda, we have a special presentation. Mayor Perry, are you going to?
Yes. Well, I first want to say good evening, everybody, and thank you all for attending. We have quite a number of people joining us via WebEx today, but I'd like to call down my good friend, my colleague, and our Deputy Mayor, Tony Fiore. So as everyone knows, earlier this year, our good friend and our Deputy Mayor, Tony Fiore, decided not to seek re-election to the Township Committee, a Township Committee that he has honorably served for the last 12 years. And sadly, this is our last meeting in the year. This is the last meeting in 2020 that Tony Fiore is going to be sitting by our side up there on that dais. I have to just first start off by saying that I'm not just losing a colleague up here. I'm losing a dear friend, somebody who has been there for me time and time again, somebody who has made me a better public servant, and somebody that this township is very hard. It's very hard to lose somebody of this caliber. But I know for certain, because I think the only thing that Tony Fiore has said more than, Perry, what are you doing this year, is that he is not going far away. And I know that Middletown is incredibly grateful, and Monmouth County is incredibly grateful for your leadership as the county's largest municipality. And we're joined today by Freeholder Director Unknown, who's going to be making a presentation. I'll let speak to that. But Tony, today we honor your 12 years of service. I couldn't be more grateful, my friend. I really can't. It's been a total friendship up there. and one that's made me a better public servant, a better mayor, and a better member of this township committee. So without further ado, really quick, I will just read the proclamation. It says, Office of the Mayor, Anthony P. Fiore, Middletown Township. Whereas elected 4 consecutive terms, Tony Fiore grabbed the bull by the horns. And there's no better way to start off a proclamation than that. While serving on the Middletown Township Committee and faced every situation he encountered with leadership and strength. And whereas throughout his 12-year career in public service, Tony served as mayor for 2 terms, deputy mayor for 6 terms, and was involved in a number of boards and committees, including the Middletown Planning Board, Library Board of Trustees, the Municipal Drug and Alcohol Alliance, chairman of the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 Memorial, as well as chairman of the Middletown Day Committee, where he restructured the event to be fully funded by sponsors and vendors. And whereas during his tenure, Tony tackled and defeated anything that came his way, whether it was the devastating impacts of Hurricane Irene and Superstorm Sandy, or a budget that needed to be reformed without sacrificing community services. He was able to generate savings through negotiating better employee benefits, as well as a shared service with Monmouth County and the Middletown Board of Education. The fiscal planning and efficiencies instituted by Tony resulted in 4 consecutive years of a 0% municipal tax increase and enabled Middletown to have the opportunity to build a new state-of-the-art town hall that will allow for growth of our township and provide surrounding towns with better access to shared services. And whereas Tony is known for his well-founded beliefs about how things should be done, it is his knowledge, it is his drive that has propelled him to make the vast improvements in our community. Among his accomplishments are founding the Middletown Disaster Relief Fund that raised $1 million to help facilitate and residents rebuild their homes, establish the Emergency Operations Center at Town Hall, spearheading the Port Monmouth Flood Control Project, negotiating the township-wide garbage collection contract, and his instrumental role in bringing Memorial Sloan Kettering to Middletown, and enhancing communications to residents to keep them informed. However, as a father and as a coach, the achievement closest to his heart is undoubtedly his commitment to the betterment of youth sports. His success in increasing the number and quality of our recreational fields and facilities will forever remain an incredible mark in our township's history. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor Tony Perry, and the Middletown Township Committee do hereby proclaim December 31st as Tony Fiore Day here in Middletown Township, to honor him for his fierce dedication to the community, relentless advocacy for our taxpayers, and for making Middletown a better place to live, work, and raise a family. Tony, all of this is well deserved, my friend.
Thank you, Matt.
So without further ado, we have a few things for you, our friend. Obviously, you've given one of these out multiple times on several different occasions.
Including the first one.
Including the first one. That wasn't in the resolution. That wasn't in the proclamation.
The people of Oklahoma.
But this key to the city is hereby presented to Anthony P. Fiore, Mayor 2011, 2012, Deputy Mayor 2010, 14, 17, 18, 19, and 20, and on the Township Committee from 2009 until today. In grateful appreciation of your 12 years of dedicated service, thank you for your strength, tenacity, and leadership, especially during Superstorm Sandy. You'll always be remembered for your advocacy for youth sports, commitment to fiscal responsibility, and a drive to continue making Middletown better. There you are.
Thank you so much. This is the biggest.
And with that, I know before you say anything, I just want to thank Courtney Fiore and the entire Fiore family for being there every step of the way and allowing this man to help lead this township into a better place. So to the Fiore family.
Not very often that I don't know what's the word. And clearly, I didn't write a speech, as I told Heidi, why start now?
Tony, here, I have it on. It's right here.
I've only done 2 in my life. I've never done one here, so why start? But Mayor, thank you. I'm just blessed, and thank you to my family. My father's here tonight, my wife, my 2 beautiful daughters who, one was here the first time, one wasn't. That's how long I think I've been in service to Middletown, and both, one's now taller than me, and one was being held on my first inauguration, so I saw those pictures tonight. But it's just a true honor to, and I won't go long because the mayor knows, have a 90, and Jerry who's here, Tom, know that I have a 90-second rule. Get your stuff done in 90 seconds. But this is just a just tremendous honor for me. I've been so fortunate to work with great committees. This mayor, mayors of the past. I've had some great running mates. I've had great support from my organization, from my party, from the community at whole. And most importantly, the leadership of Tony Mercatante, all of the department heads, Heidi, the real Mayor Maureen. And, you know, just we are so blessed and fortunate to have such a great group to make all these accomplishments possible. One man can't do this alone. I learned that a long time ago. At the best township attorney you could possibly have in Brian Nelson, and a true friend who's been there every step of the way. We started the first day together, and the best decision I made that far back. But thank you, Middletown. This is just humbling. I'm kind of sad, but I'm happy in a way because I know that Ryan Clark, who's going to be taking my spot, embodies a lot of the same passion that I have. And, you know, I think it was one of the Middletown police who said, said to the mayor, he said, you don't think that you and Fiore ever sleep? That's true. I don't know what I'll do at 1 a.m. He sent a text to Mercatante at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. So I know he's going to miss my 5 a.m. texts every morning, but this is just a great town. And, you know, for me, I just want to say thank you. It's been a true honor for me to serve my community, and Rick, I'm trying to keep it together. I told you I would, but
We took a poll, just so you know. I'm not winning right now.
So thank you. I'm going to keep it short and
Well, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
But thank you.
Freeholder Director Tom Arnone, I want to call up here and present. Oh, yeah, sorry, Tom.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm going to have to pull this down, but I do want, this is a little bittersweet here for many reasons. And actually, I'm going to put this down because most of the was said in Tony's proclamation there, but the last sentence. But this is a little bit more special, and obviously it's a big county, and a lot of elected officials retire and decide to move on to something else, stay involved in other situations. But this one's a little different probably than all of them that I've done. And there's a reason why. And I just like to touch a little on Tony. So, you know, and it's personal for myself because I came from this small little town there on the other side of the county. And when I decided to run for freeholder, I met with an individual. Then I met him at a pizza place, where else? A pizza place, of course. And we would meet at, and we talked and we bonded. And we bonded from day one, and it was the political side, the municipal and county side, but more importantly, the friendship side that we came. And we've talked numerous mornings on the phone. I can't even count, and we'll continue to do those because I saw the way that Tony governed over, you know, anybody could govern during good times. It's easy. It's when you have the challenges to govern. And, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, fortunately for Middletown, unfortunately for Tony, he happened to be here during all those times and in a leadership role to have to handle them. And he handled them stellar. It was the way he handled them with calmness, firm. I'm going to get to not always calmness, the firmness, and then sometimes ruffling feathers when he had to. And he had no problem doing that if it was for one reason, for the betterment of Middletown. And that's all he cared about in every decision that Tony made, was what was best for Middletown. not for Tony Fiore, not for nobody else, but what was best for Middletown. And Tony, when people say that you're going to go, you move on and people fill seats, and Ryan, you will fill a great seat there. And we all move on at a later time, but there's going to be a time 10 years down the road or more, and your name's going to pop up, Tony. It's going to be Tony, put a stamp on it, and put a stamp on that in Middletown. Tony, I know forget about the political side, forget about the government side, just our friendship will continue to stay there over and over. Tony's honest with me. I'm honest with Tony when we're talking. It's usually like after he gets done texting Tony, I usually get the phone call, but you've done a great job mentoring people. And that's a true leader. When you walk away, it just flows. And that's because of the mentorship that you gave. So Tony, without reading all the stuff that's inside here, because I don't want to duplicate it, the one thing I do want to say is on this occasion, the Monmouth County Board of Chosen Freeholders joins with the members of this governing body of Middletown in commending the achievements by proclaiming December 21st, 2020 as Anthony P. Fiore Day in our county of Monmouth. Take this on.
So the one thing I'm just going to say, aside from my thank you, Tom, and to all of the freeholders and great colleagues, and that's been a big part of success, has been the partnership we've had with our freeholders and our legislative team. I know Jerry's now part of that, and the LD13 team. But the one thing I'm going to say about Tom is really quickly, and I appreciate him being here tonight, especially amongst everything, is years ago, I had the opportunity, Tom wanted me to seek a freeholder seat. And, again, I knew I didn't have to do that, although I did, part of me to raise the Italian flag and have bocce courts everywhere.
Yes, it did.
But I still have them.
We still have them.
But, I always knew that Tom and his leadership didn't need me to be there, and that Middletown was really where my passion was and should continue to be. But it's based on your leadership, and I always appreciated those opportunities to examine. And I know I never took you up on them, but you know what? I always knew we were in good hands in Freehold. So
I don't want to say this while he was sitting there. I will say, it's still there.
my wife, a lot of her. But thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, brother.
Hold on, Tom. But you have enough walls in your house?
I don't know. I'm not the interior designer. Clearly.
Thank God. Last but certainly not least, I know our assemblyman and your former colleague, Jared Sharpenberger, has a few things to say to honor our good friend here.
I thought Tony Fiore was stepping down. No, you know what? I have to apologize. I have a proclamation for you.
That's fine.
The state sent it to my old address, so I don't have a physical proclamation. You know the shape the state is in? Well, it trickles down to getting the proclamations on top. But real briefly, I just want to say, because I'm in the film, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but serving with Tony really shows. Tony set the bar for being a productive, serious, fierce public official. And dealing with others, you see all types. You see people who just want to wave at parades and don't really want to get involved, and other people who really want to take the bull by the horns, and they're the more rare ones. And Tony, we had that. He was unbelievable. No matter what it was, he was never intimidated, never overwhelmed by it. There was always a way. We have totally different styles. And I always like to say, I start out down here and build up to here. Tony starts out here and then comes down. And somewhere we meet in the middle. And it was a great working relationship. I think it was almost 10 years. And we did a lot of great things, weathered a lot of tough storms. And Tony, through it all, has been great. And you know what? He's actually become a type. Now we talk about people, well, he's no Tony Fiore. He's no Tony. And that's a compliment, where somebody can really take the bull by the horns and get things done and really not back down from a fight. And that's something we need a little bit more of. So it was an absolute honor to serve with you. As a resident, I'm happy to have had you. So, because I knew my interests were being protected every step of the way. So, like I said in the video, this is temporary. Don't worry, we have a plan to get you back in here. So
I'm not going anywhere.
So anyway, with that, you have a proclamation coming, so do some new on the mantle board, okay? Thank you.
Since the guy who did start it all. Partly to blame.
What do you want to say?
All right.
I'm prolonging the meeting. I have rules about this.
He texted me at the last meeting when he was presiding. He said that I almost beat the record of the fastest meeting, but he did not. I'm hiding this here as a neutral third party, okay?
I would have texted you.
Obviously, we all wanted to be here and gather all elected officials from across Monmouth County and Tony's colleagues over the years, but obviously due to COVID, we were unable to do that. But Tony, I just want to let you know that several of your friends and your former colleagues have a couple things that they want to say. So we will take it away.
I go back up.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, Tony. Thinking about what to say to you tonight, but words are hard to come by. To thank someone who's given so much to so many. Middletown today is truly a better place because you were here. It was a privilege to serve with you on committee. I know I relied on you for guidance on quite a few issues, and selfishly, I wish you would stick around a little bit longer because I know there's a whole lot more I can learn from you. Thank you to Courtney, Allie, and Juliana for sharing you with us, and thank you for everything you gave to Middletown.
I first met Tony Fiore when he still lived in his boyhood town before he came to Middletown. And when he did come, he came to see me, and I said, Tony, welcome to Middletown. You've got to get involved. You gotta pitch in. Next thing I knew, he was running for the Township Committee. He won his election. He went on to serve, become the deputy mayor, then the mayor, and a driving force on the committee and for the town. Tony, the Township Committee will miss your leadership, but I know you're going to be around to help guide public affairs here at home and all around Monmouth County in the years to come. Congratulations on a great run.
So it's Tony Fiore's last Township Committee meeting, a moment that I know I've dreaded, but he's also promised me he's not going very far away, and I intend to hold him to that. My time here as the Chief Financial Officer of Middletown has been nothing but enjoyable, even with the many challenges. Most of that is due to Tony Fiore's leadership. He's been a mentor, he's been a friend, he's professional, he's intelligent, he's fair, and he's reasonable. So he makes every challenge something that is easy to overcome. He is leaving the township in a much better financial health than he found it. I know that he will not take his eye off of that, and he will be around whenever we need him. I wish him the best of luck with everything. Thanks, Tony.
Hi, Tony. Good government doesn't happen near often enough and never by accident. It takes dedicated, creative people with relentless personalities. It takes management of politics as well as policy. Since almost the day you set foot in Middletown, you've been a driving force on all these fronts. Middletown and all of us dealing with politics and policy up and down the line are lucky to have you. I say that in the present tense because you're only retiring from your former role on the governing body. None of us has any intention of ever letting you get out of these other obligations. It's great working with you, Tony. Thanks for your service to Middletown and to all of us.
Sheriff Sean Golden here. I want to wish Tony Fiore all the best in his retirement from the Township Committee. On behalf of all the members of the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office, it's been a pleasure working with Tony Fiore on a number of public safety initiatives for Middletown and the County of Monmouth, and he's always had Middletown and the interests of the Middletown residents and the safety of the Middletown residents at heart. And so, Tony, from working on Middletown Day and participating in that, to the 9/11 Memorial, to your work with the Drug Alliance, and certainly all your work on the Township Committee with your new town hall and your new police department, we want to say thank you. Thank you for all your service to the community, to the county, and as a Rutgers fan, to the state of New Jersey. So good luck in your retirement. All the best to you and your family. Have a happy new year.
Hey, Tony. I just want to say congratulations on your brilliant career as a member of the Township Committee and a mayor multiple times. It's been a pleasure working with you. In your honor, I decided to crunch a few numbers over the weekend, and I calculated that I have actually worked with about 45 elected officials in my career, and 40 of them were mayors. And I just want to say, in all my career, I've never worked with anyone as calculated and smart as you when it comes to numbers. I've never known anyone who can analyze numbers and see between the lines of numbers better than you. So it's really an amazing skill, something I've learned a lot from, and I really appreciate. One other thing I should mention, think that the person that doesn't get enough credit for situations like this and times like this is your wife, Courtney. I know she's had to put up with a lot of time with you out of the home and being committed to Township Committee business. And I know that's difficult at times. I know from personal experience it's difficult at times. So I want to say thank you to her too. So enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Tony. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for all of your hard work on behalf of the residents of Middletown. You've set a wonderful example as an elected official. You've worked so hard on behalf of your constituents. And personally, I have to say, it's been such a pleasure working with you. So thank you for all of your amazing service to the public, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Tony, I remember the first time I met you. We were negotiating the fire department contract in one of the toughest financial times the township has faced. I want to thank you for your leadership over the last 12 years. I look forward to our conversations and our continued friendship. Thank you.
When I first met Mr. Fiore, he was very kind to me and taught me my path that would be good for me to take. He taught me manners, and he also taught me many other things that I would need. He taught me life skills and kind things to say, kind words and manners. Thank you very much, Mr. Fiore.
Hey, Tony. Jerry, I want to thank you for presenting the proclamation on behalf of the LD13 team. But that proclamation truly only touches on part of the impact that you, Tony, have made in your community and surrounding areas. You truly are a wonderful public servant and somebody who's in it for the right reasons. I'd also like to thank you personally. You've been a mentor, a counselor, but most importantly, a friend. And I will forever cherish our friendship, and I know that it doesn't stop here. And I also know that Middletown probably is not going to let you get very far. So thank you for all you've done. Thank you for all you continue to do, and best of luck in the future. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you, Tony. Good luck.
Tony, I can't believe it's been 12 years since you joined the Township Committee. You've been Deputy Mayor how many times, and Mayor? When I think back of all the things that you've accomplished, one of the major crises you had to face was Superstorm Sandy. You brought us through with your leadership and your hands-on commitment to get us through the crisis as well as the recovery. I wanted to share a story that I experienced with you when you were working in the EOC, and phone call after phone call to help residents in need through a major snowstorm, when we received one phone call from a woman who didn't have formula for her child. You didn't hesitate to run out, get the formula, hike into that community. You were waist deep in snow when you met up with the father of that child and handed the formula to them. Now, you got back to the EOC, and I said, do they have any idea who just delivered that formula? You said it doesn't matter. They got what they needed, and that was proof to me that every detail you took care of. I wish you and your family all the best in the future, Tony, and don't be a stranger around here.
You can add this to the list of things that I never thought I would have to do, but I guess after 12 years, it is time to move on. You know, it's going to be hard to envision the Middletown Township Committee without Tony Fiore being a part of it. Tony's been such a strong presence over the years, it's clearly going to leave a huge void and some very big shoes to fill. When people ask me what's it like to serve with Tony, I always tell them the same thing. Tony Fiore is the absolute best numbers guy I've ever seen. He can take a contract, read it on the spot, and tell you whether it's a good deal or a bad deal, or what numbers or percentages have to be increased or decreased to make it a good deal. It's a very rare talent and something that I think is going to be sorely missed. On a personal level, I want to say thank you for being such a good friend and colleague over the years. I value those long talks we've had on the issues, on the positions to take, and even some of the people that we've had to deal with. As colleagues, we've done some great things, and we've also weathered some really rough storms, all for the betterment of the town. So with that, I want to say the best of luck, enjoy that beautiful family of yours, and remember, we have a plan to draw you back in. So you're not going to be able to go too far for too long. Enjoy, pal.
This is a bittersweet message. Tony, I want to thank you. On behalf of the residents of Monmouth County, they couldn't thank you enough for your dedicated, compassionate service. And I watched the great things you did through some troubled times. And you are a true leader, and more importantly, you're a friend. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.
Well, I didn't want it to be true, but we are now at our last Township Committee meeting, and Tony Fiore is set to take a much-deserved break from the Township Committee, although I really doubt he's going to be moving away from the Township Committee all that much. I'm sure my phone is going to be ringing just as much as it does now as it will come 2021, and I'm grateful for that. Tony, I'm grateful for everything that you've done for me. You've made me a better mayor, a better Township Committee member, and you've made Middletown a better place. Your leadership through a financial crisis needed Tony Fiore. Your leadership through Hurricane Irene needed Tony Fiore. And your leadership through Hurricane Sandy needed Tony Fiore. This town is a better place, and this Township Committee is a better governing body because of the work of Tony Fiore. And for that, we'll be eternally grateful. And I'm never, ever, ever going to want to go a day without getting the 5 phone calls where we talk about every little thing happening in this town. Tony, thank you. And congratulations, my friend.
I will be Oprahing that video if I ever run again. Make sure Heidi, you know where that file is.
Without further ado, it's my honor to thank, and with a absolute heartfelt appreciation to our Deputy Mayor, Tony Fiore.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. You're all too kind.
Well, I'm not going to beat my own meeting record now, so, but
I apologize for that, Mayor. Might be difficult.
So with that, Tony, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Heidi, we're ready to go.
Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have the proclamation supporting Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over 2020 year-end holiday crackdown. That is for the record. Our next item, we have the approval of minutes for November 16, 2020 regular meeting and December 7, 2020 workshop meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve minutes. Our next item, we have a public hearing for ordinance 2020-3300, an ordinance of the Township Committee in the Township of Middletown, County of Monmouth, amending Chapter 540, Planning and Development Regulations, Section 203 and 606.
Motion to introduce. I'm sorry, motion to approve. I'm sorry.
You got to open it.
Maybe Fiore should handle this. Any member of the public wishing to speak on proposed ordinance number 2020-3300, an ordinance of the Township Committee of the Township of Middletown, County of Monmouth, amending Chapter 540, Planning and Development Regulations, Sections 203 and 606. Any member of the public wishing to speak on this proposed ordinance? Oh, I'm sorry. You would just use, anyone joining us via WebEx would use the raised hand feature that Heidi explained earlier on the right-hand side of your screen. Any member of the public wishing to speak on proposed ordinance number 2020-3300? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, Move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. This time we have ordinance 2020-3301, an ordinance amending portions of Chapter 127 of the Code of the Township of Middletown governing parks and recreation areas and facilities.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2020-3301, you can use the raised hand feature on the right-hand side of your screen. Again, proposed ordinance number 2020-3301. Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. At this time, I'd like to ask the Township Committee if they would approve a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 20-244 through 20-256, including bingo and raffle applications and firefighter applications, removing resolution 20-253 and 20-255 for separate vote.
Motion to approve a consent agenda.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt the consent agenda. At this time, we have resolution 20-253, a resolution expressing support for a preliminary preferred alternative for the replacement of Monmouth County Bridge S-31 on the County Route 8A, Bingham Avenue to Locust Point Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes, for the comment. I'd like to thank the.
Hang on, Bert. Go ahead.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes for the comment. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'd like to thank Dick McCumber and the Friends of the Oceanic for all their insight on the, I believe it was 16 years of work that they put in on this project here and all their thoughts. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And I just want to quickly echo Committeeman Hybel's comments, and I want to thank him for his leadership and efforts to lead this charge. I do want to also thank Dick McCumber and Todd Thompson of the Friends of the Oceanic Bridge. None of us want to see the county lose any type of federal funding that's available to replace the Oceanic Bridge. It is in desperate need of replacement. There is no question about that. No one is debating that. There is, however, concern from residents, concern from members of this governing body over the rationale and the reasoning to have the proposed height of this bridge. And we appreciate the Friends of the Oceanic Bridge meeting with us. We appreciate everybody, all the public's comments that were sent to the county on this. And within this resolution does state that the Township Committee will officially request a meeting with the United States Coast Guard to discuss the proposed height of this bridge, which is currently set at 65 feet. But we will certainly have conversations. This resolution does not stop in any way, shape, or form the conversations from being had on that bridge. So again, I want to thank the Friends of the Oceanic Bridge for their time and attention to that, and specifically Dick McCumber and Todd Thompson. So thank you.
At this time, we have resolution 20-255, a resolution memorializing the Township Committee's support for keeping Middletown's Thanksgiving Day football game tradition alive.
Motion to approve. What's that?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Second.
It's approved. Not used to that.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes, with a brief comment.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 20-255.
I can't talk with this on. Listen, thank you for committee and Mr. Nelson for putting together this resolution that I asked for at the last meeting. Simply stated, it's a resolution supporting for all you in public who think that the government is getting too far involved in a Thanksgiving game. All it shows is that we support a Thanksgiving game. I did read some of those comments, but ultimately, some traditions should be kept alive, and the playing a Thanksgiving football game in a non-pandemic, a non-state of emergency event when things go back to normal is one that should here in Middletown. It's been a tradition for 45 years. It should continue. I come from a place where the tradition was over 100 years and then taken away because the NJSIA and high school playoffs. That's not the right reason to end the tradition for bringing the community together. So thank you, Township Committee, for supporting it. I hope that the Board of Education will memorialize this, will see the support of the township. There are hundreds of people who have signed the petition to keep the game alive, and will continue to do so when it's safe and available to be done again. So thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we have the Township Committee acting as the ABC issuing authority. We have Resolution 20-257, a resolution of the Township Committee, the Township of Middletown, New Jersey, authorizing a place-to-place transfer for the extension of premises for license 1331-33-024 for GBFB LLC.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Committeeman Heibbon.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt 20-257. Time we have Township Committee comments.
Committeeman Sedambrino, lead us off.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to take a couple minutes to say a couple more words about Tony Fiore, our Deputy Mayor, and a good friend over the past 10 years that we've served together on the governing body. So first, before I thank you, Tony, I got to thank your family and Courtney for sharing you with us and the township. So thank you very much. So you figure a year or two, you let them back. So, thank you very much. It's an incredible commitment. It's an incredible time away from family. We all know it up here. And I don't know that the general public knows it that often, but it's time and time again that you've let us have the benefit of Tony's leadership here. And, you know, he can't be in two places at one time. So we thank you very much for that. Hopefully you'll get it back for a little bit. So a couple other items. Usually when you meet somebody and after a year or two, you have a pretty good understanding of their personality, and you could say, well, this person is really like one other person, or so you could group their personality to one person or another. Well, with Tony, I couldn't do that. I had to pick two people. So that's because his personality was so big. And here's what I'd say. I'd say Tony Fiore has the tenacity and the go-get-it, if you will, of former Governor Chris Christie, with the personality of TV network, Food Network star Guy Fieri. So, I
don't really know what to think about that right now.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You combine those two personalities, and I think the township of Middletown has gotten the benefit of Tony Fiore, and not one, but two great personalities, and that's to the betterment of Middletown, to the betterment of me personally. So, Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.
It's been a pleasure serving with you, and I'm sure I can come up with more in the future. So, thank you once again.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Committeewoman Snow.
Thank you, Mayor. There were a couple of things I wanted to say that I didn't have time for on the video. I work
You know
numbers.
how hard it is to tell a bunch of politicians that they have 20 seconds?
Well, it was
I think the only person to actually abide by that was our known. I can't believe it.
Well, I went on the video and I did it and I said, okay, I nailed this. And I looked at the time and it was 2.5 minutes. And I'm saying this is going to be nearly impossible to do. So I did cut out a few things I wanted to mention tonight. Tony Fiore was the first one I talked to when I was asked to be on Township Committee. And he scared the bejeebers out of me. I was being asked questions that I thought, well, I'm not running for President of the United States, but I guess I got to answer them. And luckily, I told you I didn't know of anything. So that was a good thing.
in my business, I work with numbers a lot. And watching Tony work numbers, I tell people the only way that you can get to know Tony Fiore working his numbers is watch him take 2 nickels and make a quarter. And he did it time and time and time again.
You do that at home?
No.
Okay. Just want to know.
Never said I ran 29 branches.
I just feel so lucky to have Tony to watch for the almost 3 years now that I've been on committee. Because I don't think there's going to be anyone else I can sit with that's going to give me that. And I know anytime I had questions, which probably he looked at me and he says, well, that's really a dumb question. He answered it without me feeling it was a dumb question. So that worked out very well for me. And I felt, okay, I can go to the next committee meeting now because I saved face. When I met him, he scared me. And he's like really tough on the outside. And I said, okay, I can deal with that. Maybe I just need to chip away a little bit. But I found out he's a little mushy on the inside. And I remember being at an event at your house, and we were talking about soccer. And Tony lights up when he talks about soccer, as the 3 of you know. And he was telling me about coaching, and he was having tryouts for the team. And he looks at me and he says, you know, all these girls, all these girls, and I'm thinking, you have 3, you should be used to them by now. And he said, they all tried out, and a lot of them shouldn't have made it. He said, but I couldn't tell them no. And I remember that you telling me this, so I made another team. That's when I knew he was mush inside. So I knew there was a possibility that I would be serving with him, and I was able to sort of massage him a little bit so that I would feel more important. Because coming on committee, you sort of sit back and you watch and you listen, and you don't do a lot of talking in the beginning. And that gave me an opportunity to watch Tony Fiore work magic. So for me, it's not enough time. And as I said on that video, the selfish part of me wants you to stick around a little more because there's a whole lot more I can learn. But I know things move on, and I know you guys have waited a long time for him to be home, and I understand. So with that, I bid you farewell, but it's not going to be a farewell at a long distance because there's no way on God's green earth he's going to be able to get through a day without doing something with this committee. So I thank you. It was a privilege to serve with you. And honestly, the 3 years, as I said, I wish were more, but I'm good with it.
Thank you.
So thank you, Tony.
Committeeman Hybel?
That was great.
Yeah, deal with that, buddy.
That's a Curry move on that.
It is.
I gotta say one thing. Courtney, Barry, thank you. You guys are the best. I mean, I've been through.
It makes my job hard at home, Rick.
This guy, 2010, I've never still seen the mush side. I wish I'm really, really jealous about it.
That was special for me, just so you know.
I just feel so, feel so great sitting next to him up here. Him and I, we battle back and forth with budgets and difficult things, and he doesn't ever let me wrong. So I mean, but a couple times I think I got one up on him. So Tony, I can't thank you enough. I mean, mentor, you just make me feel really good, and I just make me feel really comfortable in hearing you well in the beginning. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you. I won't forget. Everyone else said everything kind of except the guy next to you over there, so he's got the last shot at you. I do want to say another business here. I just want to wish the newly elected fire chiefs good luck. Keep us safe here in Middletown. Same thing with the EMS chiefs. Good luck to you all. That's all I have.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor?
All right, I can't go any that much longer. I'm just going to now admit two things that, probably most people didn't know. One is every elected official, and I'm probably the most guilty, lies to their family when they tell you it's 2 meetings a month. So I'm sorry, Courtney. I did tell you it was 2 meetings a month. That wasn't true. My apologies. You've now heard that tonight, but it's something you've lived with for 12 years. So that's number one. Number two, Kevin mentioned you can't be 2 places at one time. Well, many don't realize, but I often was in 2 places at one time. For my real job, I represent everyone, and I've always loved that, but I don't work for the township. But for my real job, I travel probably 100,000 miles a year. So as Mr. Nelson, who is like laughing in the background, who could attest, you could talk to me today in Texas, tomorrow in California, the next day in Florida. I'd be all over the place. And that's really a big reason why I really appreciate this committee and why I was deputy mayor 6 times versus mayor 6 times, because I didn't feel it was really fair to the people of Middletown that I wouldn't have the time to be here personally to meet with them and answer their issues. So a lot of people don't understand the committee form of government, but my colleagues were always strong for me when I wasn't here, and I was allowed to use technology. So yes, I was in 2 places at one time often, and I will continue to do that. And again, this is like the most uncomfortable night of my life because I'm 44 and I feel like I'm retiring. Now I know what these athletes feel like. But there's a long road ahead, and I look forward to, as I mentioned, for me, it was never about higher office. It was never about trying to seek something, more than this township committee. My singular purpose was to really do 2 things. Number one, I wanted to be involved in a community that I can do as best possible for the 2 people or the 3 people in this world that mean the most to me, and that's my wife and 2 daughters. And I wanted to make sure that whatever I did would provide a better town for them and for hopefully my daughters to live in and have a better situation than I had. Not that I had a bad situation growing up. My father had a great situation, but I really love Middletown, and I loved my childhood, but I wanted my kids to have something great here in Middletown. And secondly, my second goal, which hopefully I think I was able to accomplish, was to leave this committee better today than the first day I took my seat on that side of the dais in 2009. And I feel that based on all of the work of the department heads, the great employees we have in this town, the great people, volunteers, administrator committees I've served with, I can't thank you all enough, but I feel like you've helped me accomplish that goal. So I'm overwhelmed by the support. I hope you, if in public, hopefully if you're going to dial in, there's not too many of you and you don't keep it too long, because I really don't like long meetings, because when I started, they used to go till 3 a.m. But Mr. Nelson and Mercatante, remember those days. But thank you. Thank you, Middletown. And I look forward to this committee wants any way I can serve my talents, spend some more time with my family now that I'm not going to be well, that's a lie. It's going to take me like 2 years to deramp. So anyway, Ryan, best of luck. That's the most important thing. I will be there. I will be your biggest fan. So anything you need, you let me know. And that goes everybody. So hopefully you're not all tired of hearing from me at some point. You don't ignore my phone calls. That would be the really thing that kills me the most. But thank you all. And thank you, Mayor, and everyone here. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'll just conclude. I've said a ton today, but Tony, I don't, and Courtney texted me and said, please, enough already. Between the hardware and the comments, your head's not going to be able to fit through the door as we leave. But
I got a haircut.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said in my video, this governing body is a better entity because of you. I'm a better mayor because of you and your support. And I think this entire town is better than the way you found it in 2010. In 2009, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you short, 2009. And we will forever be eternally grateful for that. So Tony, I want to congratulate you, my friend, my colleague, and a great mentor to me on a terrific career. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am not going to say any more other than Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful, absolutely happy New Year. And I look forward to seeing all of you in 2021. With that being said, I will move this meeting to public comment. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment, you can use the raise hand feature. If you're joining us via WebEx, you can use the raise hand feature on the right-hand side of your screen to make any public comment you wish to at this time. With that being said, any member of the public wishing to make a public comment for the last time in 2020. This was a great year, I gotta say. I mean, I think everyone's gonna look back on 2020 and be like, this was great. I mean, no one's gonna do that. Heidi, any member? Scroll down one more time for me. All right. Without further ado, Tom?
Want me to close it?
Go ahead.
Seeing no members of the public, a motion to close the public portion and adjourn.
Second.
Committeeman Hybels.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeeman Lozano.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Chief Curry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn.